We begin with four men stalked through the Scandinavian wilderness by an ancient antlered beast. While the creature is the immediate threat, the story focuses on a different kind of monster, the paralyzing weight of human cowardice. Months before this trip, Luke and his friend Robert stopped at a liquor store for a routine errand. The night turned lethal when armed robbers cornered them, leading to Robert's brutal murder on the shop floor. Luke had a choice to intervene, but he froze. He slipped behind a display shelf and watched his friend die, choosing his own safety over Robert's life. This timeline represents the split caused by survivor's guilt. While Luke's biological life continued, his psychological state plummeted. That single moment of inaction became an anchor, freezing his emotional development at the scene of the crime. Luke survived the robbery physically, but he left the store as a hollow shell. By the time he arrived in the Swedish woods, he was already haunted by the man he failed to be. The hiking trip to northern Sweden is an attempt at closure. The group wants to honor Robert's memory by visiting the wilderness he always dreamed of seeing. The plan collapses when Dom suffers a severe leg injury. Faced with a grueling 14-hour trek back to safety, the group's morale begins to fracture. To save time, they abandon the marked trail. They decide to take a shortcut through a dense, unmapped forest where GPS and cell signals cannot reach. As soon as they pass the tree line, their compasses fail. The needles spin uselessly, signaling that they have left behind the predictable reality of the outside world. Stepping off the trail puts the group in a lawless space. In this forest, the rules of physics are secondary to the rules of trauma. The forest quickly reveals its dark nature. The group finds a black bear suspended high in the trees, its body gutted and displayed like a grim warning. Trapped by a storm, they shelter in an abandoned cabin and find a headless, antlered straw effigy hidden in the attic, a clear sign of local occult activity. That night, the woods begin to weaponize Luke's past. He hallucinates the sterile, fluorescent lights of the liquor store humming directly above the ancient pine trees, blurring the line between memory and reality. Luke wakes from the vision to find physical proof of the attack. Deep, fresh claw marks torn across his chest while he slept. The entity stalking them mines Luke's memories. It targets his specific guilt, attempting to shatter his mind before it ever makes a physical move. The group is systematically picked apart. Hutch and Sindel are killed, while the entity herds Luke and Dom toward a hidden settlement in the heart of the woods. Here, they encounter an immortal cult that worships an ancient entity. This creature doesn't just kill for food. It feeds on the sustained emotional pain of its victims. Dom is selected for immediate sacrifice. He is dragged outside and hauled into the trees, meeting a violent end at the hands of the beast. The creature's selection process is based on the quality of a person's trauma. While Dom is sent to his death, Luke is spared. The beast senses his deep-seated cowardice and identifies him as a prime candidate for a lifetime of submission. The monster offers Luke a twisted form of immortality. If he kneels and accepts his fear, he can live forever as a hollow servant to his own guilt. Luke realizes that joining the cult means allowing the liquor store robbery to define the rest of his existence. He chooses to resist. To escape his restraints, Luke breaks his own fingers, enduring the agony to slip out of the ropes. It is a brutal act of self-inflicted pain for the sake of survival. This active, violent sacrifice stands in sharp contrast to the man who hid behind a shelf while his friend was murdered. Luke sets the cult's storehouse ablaze and seizes a rifle. He moves through the smoke and fire, no longer acting as the prey, but as an aggressor. He clears a path through the settlement with a rifle in hand, hunting the people who tried to make him kneel. In a final confrontation, the creature attempts to force Luke back into a state of submission, looming over him to demand his worship. Luke finds an axe in the dirt and strikes the creature directly. He breaks its physical hold on him through sheer, desperate defiance. He sprints for the edge of the woods. As he crosses into the open fields, the creature stops at the tree line, unable to follow him into the daylight. Luke turns and roars back at the forest, finally facing the darkness that has followed him since the night Robert died. Luke reaches the road and catches his breath. He survived the forest by doing what he couldn't do in that liquor store.
he stopped hiding and fought back.